Previously on Tessie Teams.
Right there, there are a group of people, indeed, 4 counting you, that are all sort of nervously approaching the same building.
I have been sent by consideration drawn to.
That sounds right.
Yes.
It feels right.
To help you guys as you begin your adventure. First lesson, as adventurers, building a headquarters. What do you think this place needs in order to be an effective headquarters for adventurers? Like a business making covers, like blankets?
Well, I was thinking covers of magazines because of the printing presses, but yeah. I feel like I am a gifted singer and entertainer.
I love music.
As do I. Yes.
You know, I've actually helped run a successful music tour before as a promoter. Maybe that could be our business. Maybe she does cover songs and we tour with your
It is
voice.
cover business. We must listen to Miss Evelyn.
I do exclusively do covers.
I love it. Now, you know what this means? We know exactly how we need to transform this headquarters. We've got to build a stage. We need, let's see, we got to make sure the bar is no longer charred. We're going to have to sell refreshments. And then I can get to work using these printing presses to make flyers that we can hand out telling people that the first show, Cover Business, featuring Prism, will be next week, Friday night, at the Sunbeam Parlor, formerly the Friend Hole.
Time is the enemy, the past, it threatens the fastest weapon. You wouldn't make it past a second, and that's the question. Play it brash and reckless, or choose a cautious solution you thought was prudent. In any sepulcher, pulchritude will become the putrid. It's that wealth that I'm pursuing. No mountain too steep or dungeon too deep to send expendable marks up to the top of the peak or beneath. They see you bleed, they come like sharks to it, while I swim in that money bin like Carl Barks drew it. So send your national parks druid, I'll send them home in a natural box with a closed top and most of the parts included. Save your breath for a cleric confessor. Death is a lesson and life is a tenured professor. But if you're seeking my official advice, sign on the dotted line initially twice.
Hello, I am Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX. I'm also a Menefis Hereward Drawn CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated, but today I am doing my introduction for the second time. To my right is a coherent beam of Lathander's holy light. That's Evelyn Thane. Obviously, we get the big wave. Is there anyone else you'd like to introduce?
Oh, of
very
course.
briefly?
Just in case anyone missed it before.
We have a creature here.
This is my were-Pomeranian Koa No-Nos. She's helpful.
All right. Premium hound experience there. And then to the right of my right is Prism. And there was some other words that sort of rhyme with Prism at the end, but I'm still working on it. And also, I should say this, Prism, as well. I'm very close on your song, but this has been an entire week of real excitement.
No excuses. Alyssa, please cancel the show wherever you are.
We're done. We're offline.
Anyway,
Can't work like this.
Too soon.
Soon. We'll have an opportunity to get in there. To my left, Yitzbin, Attende. What a
That's
pleasure.
accurate.
What a treat.
Thank you.
Now, are we anywhere on something Yitzbinian? I mean, should it be connected to the pun itself? Like, should we just lead the show with this?
Oh, sure. I was thinking it's been 1 week since we last saw.
Oh no, it's been 1 week since we last saw Yitzbin Attende. I think it's good. All right. To my left, it's been 1 week since we saw you. It's been 10 days. Ha! This is a great, emote opportunity right there.
Clap, clap, clap.
Now, we do have a diminutive representative of the Kazarat Ulthar with us today in the form of First from the Quiver. Do you have any opinions on your tender introduction? What tender strip we can gnaw on
I don't
show
know,
after
Becky,
show?
People like cats, so there's probably something there.
I think that there is, and
let's
it could be
see.
the sort of thing where I see now that, I mean, obviously Kate delivered every time,
Obviously.
but I think asking someone to talk about their intro is probably very much like asking someone to give themselves a nickname.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's basically impossible, and even if you were able to succeed at it, it would just make you a dick, right?
Yeah, and even if
Wow,
it's good, you
Jerry.
wouldn't use it
Jesus
because
Christ.
you're angry with them.
You know what I mean? So it should be said, when last we saw our heroes, essentially they had become brand new business owners. It's a theme that we return to often in Acquisitions Incorporated broadly. But this is definitely a novel take on the themes that we have leveraged before, specifically because it's a business that they manufactured is not a real business, but is in fact a cover business.
What?
And
Well, it's kind of a real business called cover business, honestly.
indeed, we're actually plumbing those depths because it is a cover business where covers are performed in a business context. And so obviously, I applauded within the chambers of my own heart to have a table that would generate something that crazy. It brought me real joy. Now, does anyone remember the name of this business?
Oh, yeah.
What is it? What is it, Yitzman?
It is. Oh, I usually have my notebook with me. I'm so good
Ooh,
about this.
I have
It
a
is
notebook in my brain.
the Sunbeam Portal, formerly
Parlor?
known,
Hang on a
formerly
second.
known as the Friend Hole.
Okay, so you remember the friend hole part.
Everyone remembers the Friend Hole, Jerry.
You never forget anyway.
You never forget your first Friend Hole.
I realized halfway through the phrase that I needed to leave it alone.
That's all right. I picked it right up for you.
Thank you, Yitzman. Now, but it is quite true. It is quite true that we have arrived at the Sunbeam Parlor, formerly known as the Friend Hole. The sign has been hung out front, and the only thing missing, really, from the Sunbeam Parlor to truly cement its place in the arts and entertainment constellation.
Business license. I agree.
Exactly. No, this is a you will need one, but that actually comes later in the adventure.
In the quote unquote adventure.
Yeah. Well, when I say I use the term adventure loosely. So, but in this context, the only thing missing actually is, in order for you to fulfill your true purpose, really is just a show, a first show, sort of push this thing off the dock, prove its mettle. Obviously, the citizens of Sparata, City of Intrigue, they have a choice where they spend their entertainment dollar. And the people, functionally speaking, they need to know. They need to know that there's another option out there.
So you're saying we need marketing?
Well, what I'm saying is that you have a venue, but you don't have a concert yet. Concert, classically speaking, it's a mesh of venue. This is the model. It's a mesh of this is the venue on this side.
Got it.
And then over here, this is the clientele.
You're making like the Stussy S, like we used to do in grade school.
Well, it's an ancient and yet still powerful sigil.
Right.
the mark of the House of Stussy.
I mean, we've got the talent.
And
all we got to do
press.
is, we've got everything we need. We got all the ingredients here.
Well, I completely agree. I would love to see how you toss these ingredients into a pot.
Evelyn, weren't you making flyers?
Oh yes, but Prism, I need to know some of your biggest hits, or like what's the like marquee, like Prism, the something presents cover business with big hit song, or like crazy, like on the, what's the stage called? Something like the strong stage or something, you know? We need some big names.
Oh, so you want to execute, you want to try to create like an almost festival branding.
Well, it's kind of like a circus flyer is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But
yeah.
I it's just like, if I can put my own headcanon in there, is it possible that it could be like Prism and then, but presents is spelled sort of like prism with an I.
Ooh,
right? Something like
presents.
that, kind of lean into the prism, because that's the draw, obviously.
Wow. Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Prism, what do you think? What is going to be like the most amazing thing about this show?
Prism looks at you, and all the pink drains out of her, and she's just left this like sallow pea soup shit brindle yellow, and she leans in so close with wide eyes, and she goes, I don't know if I can do this.
Don't worry. That's what a great promoter / tour manager is for. I can help you. Let's see. Do you know any of the songs you're going to sing yet?
I can't remember a single song.
Okay.
What are songs?
Then we won't get specific. We'll just say, let's see, the year's top favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's vague enough. That could be anything. It could even be not me. Anyone else.
Well, we're going to have to put your name on the flyer. You are the star.
Oh, God. That's so much pressure.
But, you know, there's other draws like the stage. Yitzbin, what is the name of this amazing muscle stage you've built?
This is called Amazing Muscle Stage.
Let's see. So AMS for short?
AMS, if you say so.
I feel like it could use some wordplay, you know, something snazzy. Like the Amazing Muscle Stage is good, but could we make it even more like, wow?
Ironically, I am no good at puns. I was actually trying to just think of one that had anything to do with stage, but they're all pretty terrible. Let's see.
How about like the flex stage, or like
flex,
or like the let's see,
the protein platform.
Ooh, very good. Or like the swole stage or something.
The swole hole.
Ooh,
Swole holla.
Swole holla.
I like that. It occurs to us as if we all hear it at the same time.
Well, you're in my domain now, but I like that, especially if you're thinking about there's some design notes, in there as well.
Yeah.
Just
So Evelyn is arranging the printing press. She's got like, come see. And then she says like Prism. And she makes that all flowery. She doesn't even add anything because Prism itself is just like a star name. It doesn't need anything. And then on, let's see, on famous stage, Swole Holla. And then it says like, crooning your favorites at the Sunshine Parlor, in tiny parentheses, formerly known as the Friend Hole.
Yeah, exactly. Experience croonomancy.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many blessings come from above today.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm overjoyed at this point that I've established that you can be communicated with directly through the printing presses. I mean, I guess that's true. I guess that's true in real life as well.
It's like the little like letters that she's arranging. She just sees them form into that, and she's like, "Oh, of course."
She puts them in.
It's a sentient printing press. It just wants to like make the best product.
It's dedicated.
And she forgot, so she adds Prism Presents Cover Business Tour.
Yes.
Honestly, I want to go.
Yeah, me too.
Go. Yes.
So
right.
all we need now is the dates and the run. So is it like nightly at sundown, or is it like once a week on what's the name?
One night
Friday.
And one night only.
What if we also make this vague? So it says, join us.
Oh, okay. So it could be any time. So you come in, it could be happening, it could not be happening. Maybe you have to come back. Maybe you're in the middle of the performance. Doesn't seem very effective, but it's certainly vague.
But I'm not bringing people in the door. But once they are here, we could entertain them at a moment's notice. And you could just sing something.
Oh, yes, I could do that. I could.
On call.
No, I hear you. Is it hot in here?
There was a fire recently.
Have you given any thought to becoming larger? I've decided to do a French accent now. Have you tried to become larger for maximum money that will hit your body and drop onto stage?
Maybe you should build some little like money holes on the stage so that the money can drop through.
A grate.
I immediately start punching holes in the stage.
No,
for
not
the money
that
to drop
big.
into.
We can't let Prism's little feetsies drop through too.
Oh no.
You have to be careful.
Well, the stage looks like Swiss cheese now, so.
Well, no. And the truth is that if a singer turns their ankle, I mean, they got to be put down. I mean, that's. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
No, come on.
I don't make the rules.
That's the accepted custom, yeah.
But now we put hole in swole hola.
Well, just maybe not. I don't think that my vision was fully communicated here.
I think I nailed it.
Okay. Maybe you should nail some more boards to it now.
Okay.
I think I'm the best at this.
It's about terrain. Now it's an exciting terrain to perform on. I mean, that's not everybody gets that.
You know, it is kind of like it's an extra accomplishment if somebody performs on the Swolhalla stage. It means that they're not only a performer, but they're like a survivalist. They're like a gladiator.
Okay. I think that this is a lot, and I think that the stage looks great. It really does. And I just need to, and she starts just backing away from everybody in the stage, and her teeth are chattering, and she's just like there's pre-stage fright, and then there's like pre-stage fright, and that's what she's experiencing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Quiver, your security detail looks like Prism needs help.
From herself. Yes.
Protect her.
No. I have an idea. You might appreciate this. It goes along with the other idea I had. Now we have no songs, because when somebody comes in, you say, "Oh, you just missed her."
That sounds great. I love it.
The show just ended. I'm sorry.
This is great.
I come in from outside, and I've got 5 people with me. Look, I have found audience. Now we make money for cover business.
Oh no.
Oh God, it happens so fast, Prism.
The show just ended.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My timing is terrible. I am new to town. Goodbye. Money, please.
It's like the people that you've brought in, they are all sort of in the same state. Like they never had an opportunity to shift away from sort of befuddled excitement, and now they've just been ejected back into the world. Like
Wait,
for all they know, that was the show.
Yeah, one of
No,
them was
before they
actually
go-
yawning during it and missed the whole thing.
Prism goes and she blocks the door from the people leaving, and she's like a
She.
scarlet color, and she goes, "No, I have to put on a show for these people. Look at them; they're here. They're here to see a show. I have to do it."
That's right, Prism, you do. And Evelyn like moves the sun mirror into the spotlight, so there's just an empty spotlight on the stage, and she's like, "Go to it."
It's just a
She looks
pool. There's a pool of light, Prism, that seems dangerous somehow. It registers It registers to your mind, like your mammalian mind, as a snake or lizard.
Prism looks at the audience members that probably now look really, really confused, and she's just like this bright glowing color, and she just goes, "Sit down, please."
Ooh.
All right, let's see how many of them save.
Oh, I'm ready to roll against them.
Right, there is one that is doing their best. They are nodding, like the head and neck are giving you the important information that says, "Yes, I am one of your constituents. I'm ready." But the rest of their body, the torso, the hips and legs, these are all moving backward away. So two things are happening. One, it's possible that they're simply becoming smaller by an increment, but you think they might also be trying to leave.
I would like. I'm going to try to intimidate them. But what she says is, she goes, "No, I need a captive audience," and
Jesus.
and she clenches the door frame so that they can't get past her. And then I'm going to.
You got intimidation here?
I have a lot of ooh, it is a 19. Is a total plus a lot.
Ooh.
Nice. 19. That's a quarantine 20, as far as I'm concerned.
Hell yeah.
We're right here at the apex. So you have basically blocked the door with a combination of your own body and also your fierce power.
Yes.
And providing something like a force field where it seems like it might be dangerous to leave, which I think is
Yes.
what you were going for.
Yes. Well, she like sees these. It's like she was scared until they got here, and then she was like, "No, this is my purpose. I have to sing for them."
Well, exactly right, because the pre stage fright is a distinct beast.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now
Right.
that there's an audience, they must be entertained.
Well, yeah, because it's your mind processes it differently when you think there might be, like, you might be able to get out of it still.
Well, yeah, exactly. But now that she sees them, and also the other thought is that if they are not entertained here, they will be entertained elsewhere, and she is.
I see. So that's worse. Someone
Yes.
else entertaining them. That's inappropriate.
No. So this
Miss Prism,
What
you get on stage, I block the door.
Oh, my God. Thank you, my very robust, tall, scary friend.
You're welcome.
Oh boy. What time of day is it? Is it like 2 p.m. or something?
Yeah, my thinking is that the original plan might have been to produce documents on the press and then place those around town to attract. What's happening now is this is a little more dynamic. This is occurring in real time in the middle of the afternoon.
We can do both. I just thought word of mouth would spread really well.
I could not be more here for this. I love this too much, in fact.
All right, so I go and I get on stage, and I'm just outside of Evelyn's beam of holy performance light.
Just like you're sort of like on the edge, like standing on the edge of a pool, right?
Yes. And it feels like hot next to it. She's like, just takes that moment before she steps into it, and then she steps into it, and she starts singing, and it is imperceivably quiet. It is so quiet. and it sounds like a mosquito. Sounds like hummingbird wings. And she sees the audience and everyone else kind of just look at her quizzically, and so she kind of peters out, and she takes a deep breath and she seals herself, and then she starts singing in earnest. And I'd love to roll to see if it's good or bad.
I was going to say, now we have arrived at the performance roll. Now,
Yes,
do you
Quiver?
want to leverage some of the bounty that the Shadow Council has offered you?
Do I want advantage on this performance roll? You know what? First impressions do matter. I'm actually going to go ahead and take advantage.
That's
All
true.
right.
You don't want the town
Smart.
thinking that this first show wasn't a doozy.
Okay, so
I was going to say,
yes.
to the quiet of the inaudible singing, that amid that whisper, the audience hears of a stool being pulled up, and then a siege crossbow emerges from the slot.
All right.
That's all.
Let's see what I get. That is a 12 plus
Evelyn gives
10.
him a big thumbs up.
This is like Saw or something. Like this.
All right.
This is an experiment.
So the first one was a 14, or how would you like a 22?
Whoa!
What kind of 22 are we talking about here?
I mean, it was 12 plus 10.
A nat 22?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was just
thinking
mathematical
22.
maybe
22.
it's like, I mean, I guess I can't see your dice.
I mean, I did roll a 4. That did happen, but then the other one was a 12.
I believe you. I like this 22. So which the 3 songs we have Sunlit Sonata. These are of the suggestions you gave me, Ruby Gems and Once More with Feelings. Which one of these are you going to try to belt out?
You got to play the hit.
Yeah, Once More with Feelings is your zinger.
Yeah,
It's your
okay, that's my
single.
singer. So she's saying
Okay, good.
that, and she just really it just starts off with a punch, and she hits him. She hits him with it, and it sounds great. And you can really see, it's just for a little flavor. You can just really see her as the song goes on. She's really coming into her own. She's confidently looking at everybody. She's doing some crowd work. She's looking directly at them.
Like one of these Quiver. One of these notes rings the taut string of the siege crossbow. Like it sort of passes back through and just provides an almost like ghostly echo off of that taut string. One of the members of the audience, about halfway through, you can see they're sort of shifting in their seat, and then 3/4 of the way through the song, they stand up and run out.
What?
What are you gonna
Here's a question for you, Jerry. How do they get past me?
Well, they're going to try. So are you like sideways?
I'm blocking the door with
I love
my
it.
whole horse bod.
I love it. Well, here, which skill would you like to use? Which skill would you like to use to get at this?
Okay.
And then we will do opposing rolls.
I could use acrobatics to try to dexterously get in their way.
And they will do the same. Let's see what you got.
All right. 15, so 19.
Okay, these are the same. I have a 19 as well.
Okay.
So what we've done is we've created a complex social environment here where they are trying to get out and you're trying to get them out, and you're basically just shit. It's like 2 pong paddles.
I'm envisioning like when you meet in a hallway and you're like, "Oh, excuse, I'm so sorry. It's
no,
I'm in the way."
Exactly, but you're both 100% equivalent to one another, and both trying to play it off in a way that is socially acceptable. And she sort of like cranes her neck and looks around, and she's like, I need to get Tina.
Who does Tina? And I lean down real close and quietly so that I don't disrupt the song because it's very beautiful. And I whisper, does Tina have money?
What? No, Tina will pay. I think that she needs to hear this.
Ooh.
I like the sound of this, Tina. And I move out of the way so that this person can escape.
There's a little shimmy.
Bring money.
There is a shimmy. She's able to slip like a zephyr between you and the door, and but others even outside without the benefit of a sophisticated marketing plan, although certainly that will come into play at some point, I'm sure. They are starting to filter in from outside. Now, what is the cover? And who is? I assume Yitzbin has been deputized in a way, purely by virtue of her location by the door, to take advantage of viral content.
Well, I think that Yitzbin has no concept of how much is reasonable to charge for a cover.
It might change.
So everybody gets a slightly different request, and she's gauging their reaction to try to figure it out. It's market research in a way.
She's dialing it in. She's crowdsourcing.
Yeah, exactly. So the first person comes in, she says 200 gold piece.
But
and she does not smile.
She's like, okay, I don't. 200. She's like,
200 gold piece.
I could buy this in for 200 gold pieces.
50 gold piece.
I don't. Do you know about money?
How much gold piece do you have?
I don't. For this, I don't have any gold piece. But But how about 5 coppers? Now 5 is more if you think about it. 1 gold piece. Or 5.
You have driven very smart bargain today. Give me 5 coppers.
5 coppers are produced and then sort of held away from the core of the body. Just like an experiment.
Mimicking that exact stance, Yitzbin reaches out and tentatively grabs the coppers, clutches them very close, and then tries to catch Evelyn's eye. Waving.
Evelyn definitely should know how much like a reasonable cover for a new show would be. I don't.
Yeah. But for something like this, a copper piece is probably correct.
Okay, so if Yitzbin is holding 5 coppers and Evelyn sees that, she's like,
oh yeah.
And Yitzbin's extremely proud, but has nowhere to put it. So she's holding it. All the coppers are being held in 2 hands, as though she's a child begging for quarters at a bar. And everybody who comes in, she demands the amount that she got from the previous person.
Nice. Just sort of travels through. Does she experiment around the 5 coin threshold?
She's aware of copper, gold, and silver pieces, but she has not yet ruled out other metals. So sometimes she asks for bronze pieces. Sometimes at one point she did read once that electrum was a thing, so she asks for that. Nobody knows what that is.
It's you do receive at the. We should very, very briefly. We're going to go forward after everything that has resolved itself here. There are some shirt buttons. The occasional tooth. Of metal,
anything's
metal
fine.
There's a few extra items, maybe a couple pocket watch gears. There's an assortment of collectibles.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter if she demands is 5 copper is entry, as long as 5 things go into her little cupped pile.
Really, the charge is 5 things.
5 things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Now there is a very young girl who only has 3 things.
Do you have any loose tooth, small girl?
Oh my god.
She casts her eyes down to your hooves and nods sadly.
She nods or she shakes her head?
Shakes her
Jerry?
head, sorry.
I think she does. Take them now. I'm ready for you to
I
push your
admit that
fist
yes,
in
I
my
have
mouth.
several loose teeth. So I cast a genuine look of like making sure that Evelyn's not watching. Like very, very concerned
District
about it.
Manager Evelyn Marthane.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I pick out what looks like some kind of, fantasy screw and a ball bearing, and I give it to the girl.
Oh.
And I say loudly, 5 copper pieces or get out.
She tears begin to well in her eyes as she gets in, as she walks past you.
No rules broken today.
Absolutely. So many individuals, a crop of people. By this point, there are as many as 50 people who have piled in. It's possible, conceivable, that a Sunbeam Parlor might exist at some business ley line. Maybe it's, people walk past it on their way from lunch or something.
Yeah, good foot traffic.
But there is a organic flow of people into the venue. Now, Quiver.
Yes.
There is a knock. You see someone come in, look around, like they're not. Like, instantly, they identify themselves as someone to be observed inside this space in accordance with your holy task of protection in this venue. And you can see them sort of casting their eyes about, and ultimately they begin to walk toward your tiny defensive kiosk. Okay. And they knock very gently on the front of it.
So they're at the arrow slit?
Yeah.
Well, I guess then the front of the crossbow will recede a ways, not all the way out, and then the muzzle of a cat will press up.
We'll just press up, press a little bit out.
Yeah.
It's mostly just like the emblem. And then as you see him more clearly in the day, or in the light outside here, this is one of the human thieves that had paid you to protect their predations just the previous night.
Remind me of their name. I know they weren't named.
Oh, exactly. No, exactly. It's unfortunate, first from the Quiver. But this is sort of the erstwhile leader of that part of the outfit. And unfortunately, his name is only the Skrull.
Okay, that's fine. The Skrull. How did it go?
Well, it is. I'd say it's continuing to go poorly.
This is a shame.
We sort of set it up I mean, I feel like, what did you think you were there for? Maybe
I
that's it.
had
Maybe
been-
there's a misunderstanding on my part, and I'd love to go into that if we could.
This miscommunication is the primary issue in circumstance like this. This is why we are having problems. I was to be paid to protect your men. I was not paid, and this is acceptable to me because I did not complete the job. I am employed here, so I cannot take on any other duties. I regret to inform you of this. I wish you well. Best of luck.
No, I don't. No, I don't think that's. I don't think that's how this is.
How
I don't
long?
think that's
How
how
long
this
has
is
it?
going to work out.
How long has it been since that night and now today?
It's just basically the previous night,
Okay.
and now we're in the afternoon. So they have
Okay.
found where you were.
I see. Were you out there waiting for me? Did you look on the rooftops for me? I apologize. I should have told you this.
Yes.
That is on me.
Now, and I mean, obviously, I'm not unreasonable. At the end of the day, so I mean, I've been in Sparata for a while. I've sort of bounced around between some of the different, wisdom traditions that they have here. I mean, as a kid, obviously, I was a member of the Guillotines. You're familiar. That's the well-known youth-based vengeance organization. And our plan was basically, if you're wronged, repay tenfold, and you can get so far with that. Obviously, then I spent some time with the bonfire. It's all forgiveness. There's no moment before this one. Obviously, I feel like that's just not true. Fundamentally, I feel like there's aspects of that aren't useful.
I think we would like to believe.
I think that would be nice, but so ultimately, what I came down to, what seemed like the right play for me, and our organization, is I don't want to be in a situation like, I don't want to kill you, Quiver. Like, I don't want to do that. And it seems like you got the new job here, but I did summon some air elementals to kill you. So let's say that you do survive it. I hope that we can still be friends.
What you have done here is of a business opportunity. Survive. Come kill you. You are going to have tenfold for 10 nights protection instead of one. I think you have earned. Is this your first time doing this?
We're coming up, and we're a new organization, and but I think there's growth potential.
Would you at least do me the professional courtesy to tell me whether or not these air elementals are en route? When may I expect them?
It's an angry, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna be here any second.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Clear the friend hall. All must leave.
What? No, we're in the middle of a show, Quiver.
Here, so Evelyn Marthane.
This entire area will become slaughter. All patrons must evaporate.
Quiver, could you please slaughter outside so that we can finish the show?
I will see if I can.
Okay, thank you.
Here. So if I could please get an initiative roll from every member of the party. I don't have my cute plastic ding dongs, but we have returned gathered friends to a previous era of Dungeons and Dragons. Right here. I mean, obviously, we have our It's Been a 10-Day card, and we have our Bad Guys card ready to go.
These all look blank, Jerry. These all look blank.
Oh no, they've got text all over them. Oh, okay. Well, one, historically speaking, has been very low as a number goes.
Love it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's going to be
I
very
almost
good
didn't
for
get
us.
to go before them.
All right, so what do we got?
Evelyn got 15.
Not bad.
19 for Yitzbin.
Marvelous.
21 for Prism.
Shit.
Jeez.
Bard or Rogue?
Don't worry. This is all the good rolls out in front. As soon as we start fighting, I'm just gonna.
Okay, perfect. And then, so we've got, for the folks at home, we've got Prism, It's Been a 10-Day, Evelyn Marthane, Burst from the Quiver, and the eponymous bad guy.
Correct.
Prism.
Yes.
This is what you experience at this early part. First of all, please give me a very quick a performance roll. Tell me how things are continuing to go out there on stage.
I get a +10, so it's got to be good. Holy shit! It's a 1.
Okay.
I wish I was joking. It just it 2-framed just went from the 17 over to the 1.
It always does. It always does. Yeah, but Prism, I can at least tell you why that might be the case.
I'm ready.
And that is because, I mean, there's been, we're moving into spring is fully sprung at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There has been doesn't really know about doors. That much has become clear.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And there has been a general breeze, but now it's like this is sort of like the fan during a photo shoot. And I have to tell you that it's distracting.
Mm-hmm.
But you look incredible. It's like, so you're balanced like on the edge of the knife. I mean, you look as though you are wreathed, buoyed by mystical forces. And as far as anyone else knows, it's music.
Here's the thing. As a true creative and performer, I know I'm not doing my best. And I do my best. I end it. I've moved on to I don't know. This is the 10-minute version of the song. It's the extended cut, whatever. I'm just going back and repeating parts of it that I like. But we just
taking requests.
Yeah. But we just hit a bridge, and then I just wrap it up right after that, and turn on my heels, and I'll use my movement to first bow very graciously to the crowd, and then walk off, and just walk off, not the back way, the front way, through the audience, and then go straight
through the audience,
and go straight to Quiver, and I turn that bright red color again, and then I just say under my breath, I go, "What are you doing?"
A previous employer has the colloquialism, a bone to pick with me, and has sent air elementals to destroy me, hopefully not this establishment in the process. So I shall tend to this.
You shall tend to this. She goes, I would hope you would tend to this. Talking through an entire show. Do you know how disrespectful that is? But do I see, if I look out the window, any air elementals?
You can see, it's because it's well lit and bright. You sort of see what they kick up more than you see them itself. You can just see these voids. If you looked close, you could see almost angry flashes of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, we're talking about leaves and dust sort of whirling out from below.
All right. So I look at Quiver and I'm so mad. I'm so frustrated. It was going so well, and I just can't stand when people talk through a performance. And I say, well, I wouldn't know that there's anything coming. So I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't do anything right now. I just yelled at him.
Give me
final action.
Give me a perception roll, please.
I'm not good at that anymore, and I don't like 14.
14 is pretty good, and it's because it's an area that you're conscious of. I'm gonna bump it to 15. So there is. So this is in the middle of this tirade against Quiver. You just know for a fact that there is someone sitting in the reserved chair.
What?
Ooh.
What?
You just know it. You know that they're there.
I changed 13 different colors at once. I straightened up, like my posture has never been better, and I go and then she casts darkness centered on herself. So 15-foot radius, and everybody is bathed in darkness, so no one can see my shame.
I love it. In an instant, Quiver, there is a featureless, magically dark marble that occupies the entire front of your firing position.
Good, we'll hide.
It's been a 10-day.
Am I inside this marble of darkness?
No, you are. In my conception, Prism has gone to attend and dress down the security force.
Right.
My presumption, since I hadn't heard different, I figured you were still ready to ring out anyone who came to the front door.
Yeah, I am still. I just wasn't sure what the dimensions of our indoor setting was.
Yeah.
But if I'm still by the door, I still have a handful of crap, and I see. I have no idea these elementals are coming, obviously. So all I see is a Prism leaving the stage, and I perk up and I'm watching, and then suddenly they both disappear into a shroud of magical darkness, and I say, "Hold on, friends!" And I go charging in with all my crap, and now I'm in the magical darkness.
Okay, so now 3 members of the party are ensconced deep within the mystic darkness, and
I can't see Jack in here.
No, just behind you. I mean, you would have seen something that would probably be deeply recognizable to Yitzbin, sort of the like a dust devil from her desert home. There are 2 of them, just like spinning like invisible tops almost, and Beyblades, if you will, Beyblades of psychic force, sort of like almost like carving their way through outside. And so, Evelyn Marthane, you can see it's plain that there are 2 entities. Hard to know exactly what ghosts, some kind of a malign force. 2 of them that are visible, just outside the door to the Sunbeam Parlor, formerly the Friend Hole.
Well, I think before Evelyn noticed that, she would have seen Prism cast that darkness on herself, and the rest of the party disappear into that darkness. And she would have not been super worried or shocked, but she would know from previous experience that this is what a talent meltdown looks like. And
it's like in D&D, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. And so she would have been like trying to distract the audience and be like, "Thank you so much for coming. That's our show for tonight. It's time to leave. Thank you so much. Hope we'll see you again. Tell all your friends." And she would have been doing that. But then she's probably like herding them towards the door, sees these elementals coming toward the door, realizes that's not a good idea.
Exactly. So you're essentially you're feeding your public into a mystical chipper shredder.
So then Evelyn's going to ask herself if she knows of a back exit. Does she?
There is a back exit, but that back exit is primarily it's set up like it's trying to stop a siege or something. Like it's boarded up from the inside. But it's made from the same dilapidated wood that the rest of this is. It's not like it would be. It's probably not like it could stop you, but it's definitely not an inviting open portal.
Okay, so Evelyn's gonna turn around at the door and be like, "It looks like there's something dangerous, totally unrelated to our establishment, happening in the street. So I just want to make sure everybody gets home safe. We're gonna use our alternate exit. Everybody this way," and she's gonna try to herd everyone toward the alternate exit. The goal being that she just axes it down and shoves them out, while she's trying to pretend that this is just an abundance of caution. Don't think this is an unsafe place. She's just trying to accommodate a very pleasant experience for the audience.
Exactly. All right. Well, Prism, Yitzbin, first from the quiver.
Do I have enough movement to try to get them all the way there? I assume not. If we're moving on
inside here from the center, moving 30 feet back. One of the exits is basically there, so you can congregate them around there.
And that would be my action instead of being able to open it for them?
No, because the move is only part of your action. If you want to go nuts on it, that's fine too.
I want to open it as quickly as possible, so I'm just going to axe it down.
I want to see that. It's a door.
Whoopsie, it looks like it's left boarded up. Let me get that for you. Attack roll, I assume, toward the door?
I don't think that you can miss it. I'm mostly looking for damage.
Oh, well, that will be. I mean, I guess a door gets divine smite just as well as anyone else.
Oh God.
Oh wait, I don't have my axe, do I?
You don't. You have an axe.
Right, but it's
that was gifted to you from certainty.
Yeah,
but it's a +1 axe right off the shelf, basically.
Look, that's nice, but I've got plenty of better weapons. So instead, I'm going to pull out my flame tongue greatsword, colloquially known as the Heart of Spinelli, and do. Oh man, those are horrible rolls.
That's fine.
There's 2d6 with the ending result of 3 plus 5 is 8, and part of that is fire damage.
Well, fire is going to help in this context. So you did 8, and it's fire.
It's 3 fire damage and 5 slashing damage.
Okay. All right. So you, the middle of it blows completely out, and the rest of that door is the sort of wood that welcomes the flame.
Evelyn thinks after doing this that perhaps setting the structure on fire was not a super smart idea. And Anna, the player, realizes that you can use this sword without it being on fire. Just learned something.
Well, no, but what was happening is that you had to manage something very particular.
Yeah.
Right away, and you were thinking about it from a customer service perspective.
I was.
No one could possibly be mad. First from the quiver, there is some fire in the back of the venue, and
that is where
you
I
are. Exactly. So your vision is occluded in front of you from this dark marble. But
right.
You could flee out the back of your little structure. You have a turn to manage these events.
Yeah, my impulse is to if they're after me, I do not want them to level this building looking for me. Is there a way that I can pop out of this darkness, and is there a window in the front, or is the door open enough that I can take a look at the position of these?
Yeah, you can see they're actually visible from out the front door.
Okay, so they're a moment away from coming
Yeah, from crossing the threshold, and attending the same concert everyone else is.
in. Shoot, yeah, this is not. And they don't have 5 things either.
No.
So I will tell my enshrouded compatriots. They're here. We should go. And I've heard the clamor of Evelyn directing everybody to the back. So I will also head that way. Hopefully they will. These elementals will follow, or maybe I can circle around and lure them out the front door again.
Absolutely. So you're going to emerge from the back. You've told your friends that they should go, and now you're basically going to make a beeline for the front, try to attract these creatures.
Yeah, if I can circle around.
Yes,
what's
you
back
can
here.
get from there basically to out to the threshold of the door, just on the where the welcome mat would be in a world that had invented such a thing.
Wait, so am I able to get back to the front? No, that can't be right.
I mean, I think you can get very, very close to the front door. With your movement, you can't.
Oh, I see. I'm not used to this movement. Yeah, if I have to dash to get there, if I got to run, then let's do that.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, if that's what you want to do is just go and go and go, you can be out front with ease.
Okay, done and done. I don't want to be visible to them yet, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't want to be inside of them.
Yeah. Well, and that's actually one of their rules. They can occupy the same space, which I feel like would be really scary. It's like, if you breathe an elemental, like, now what? Now what?
It's done. You're done.
You're
done.
You're fucked. So you, and it's a very strange sensation. I mean, my sense of Quiver is that. Is it fair to say that Quiver is a little high strung?
I think so. Like maybe, eager to solve this.
Yeah.
Certainly doesn't like to be on the hook as the problem.
No.
Cause.
So you leave the rest of this pack, find your way out front, and it's the strangest. Like for a few moments, you have an intense sense of being observed, but you can't tell from where.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something you feel in your skin. And then there's the whole time you're out there, you can hear this whistling crescendo rising, and then this whirling cloud of debris, they converge on you as soon as you present yourself to them. They converge on you in the middle of the street. What is your total hit points, by the way? I'm just curious.
Oh God. 39.
Okay.
39. Why?
No reason. Right, here we go. It's so exciting. You never get to roll a D8. You know what I mean? You almost never get to roll a D8. Spirit Guardians, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Exactly. So one of them, gosh, I'm trying to think of who can see it. So basically out the front. So you have pushed everybody out to the back door. You've tried to make your incision in it, Evelyn. And then you cast your glance back through the front door. You can see that First from the Quiver has walked out, and he looks from here. He looks like he's completely alone. And then you see just some wall of force knock him physically into the air. And then knock him back down into the ground. So he's just sort of like freely floating there for a moment until something else hammers him back down into the ground. Quiver, that is 2 hits. The first for 10 and the second for 8.
Mhm. Oof, all right. Yuck. Okay. Easy.
Easy. Breezy. Beautiful.
Not a big deal.
Prism.
Cover business.
Cover business. Wow. I was
It's all there.
doing that joke for a minute. All right. So seeing everything that I've just seen.
Well, right now, you are ensconced absolutely in darkness, right?
Yeah, but I heard
No, that's true. You would hear it.
I heard Evelyn, and then I heard a sickening thump. And so realizing what I did, I'll drop darkness and look out the window again, and I just see Quiver on the ground.
That's true. And on the ground, basically surrounded by these essentially tiny tornadoes that are sort
How
of
many?
there are 2, and they are they are looking down like they have like their proportions are strange, obviously, but everything in their silhouette has them sort of hunched over his collapsed body with a just like a malevolent, something like a curiosity.
Okay. So I see this, and seeing him be down, I don't want to go. Like, I'm not gonna rush out there because I know that everybody, like, I know Evelyn is like, oh, let's leave, and she thinks that's a great idea. But what everybody else sees is from Quiver's body, another Quiver like stands up.
Oh wow!
And starts it runs about 15 feet away, and then it stops and it turns and looks at the 2 tornadoes, and then it starts just like zigzagging around in a little 15-foot kind of cube area, and it doesn't pass through anything. It's just doing that. This is the spell Silent Image. It lets me create a creature, and I can use my action to move it.
I love it.
So
absolutely. So in an instant you've created another target.
Yes.
For exactly. These assassins.
And
I love it.
That's my whole thing.
I love it. What color are you currently?
I think she is like she's actually her default like pink, because she is just like she's concentrating so much that it's just like it's like the colors are just like trying to like roil to the surface, and they don't really get there.
We should also consider at some level that she prefers that having her allies and friends hunted by invisible assassins might be less stressful than performing on stage for strangers.
Well, listen, for someone that has anxiety, you know that when there is a thing that you know how to do and you know how to do it right, that's not maybe so scary. It's the unknown that's scary. So
exactly.
This she knows
exactly
how to do.
Right. Well, new venue, right? And we're talking about a new clientele. It's like, we don't know what they're into here. Do they want the old stuff? Who knows? It's been a 10-day.
Okay, so I watch at the darkness drops, and I see this second prism come out, and I watch wide-eyed as
quiver or
this
prism?
Quiver.
Oh, okay. Came out of me.
Oh, it came out of Quiver.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I was envisioning this as prism. So I see this. I see all of this action happening outside.
Out the window,
and
yeah.
you said that I recognize these creatures as creatures from the desert.
Well, no,
right?
you would think that it's sort of like the Sirocco or like a dust devil. It would be a common
Right.
It would be a common occurrence as far as what exactly they would mean to you or your culture. That much I don't know, but the idea of these whirling wind creatures like that by itself is not a huge surprise to you.
Okay, so I say I see this, and I see quiver. One of the quivers is on the ground, and that clearly indicates that something bad has gone wrong out there. So I come charging out, and I say, "I know exactly what to do. Here I go, strong muscles. It is time to hit." And
Catchphrase.
I fish out of my goodies in my hands. I get all the teeth that were given to me, and I throw the rest behind me. Gone. We'll pick it up later. But I collect all the teeth, and I cast Catapult at the 3rd level, and I'm going to twin spell it.
Ooh.
So
This is dope as hell. What's up, 5e? What's going on?
I got a handful of teeth. I toss them up in the air, and then with Catapult, they're attacking both dust devils at the same time. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. I believe I think my spell DC is 13.
Oh,
yeah, save
man.
DC.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad because air elementals are quite dexterous.
No, roll like Jerry.
I will. I'll give you what you need. Okay, you bet. All right. And what was your target again?
I've twin spelled the teeth so that they're attacking both of these dust devils.
Definitely. I just the spell DC.
Oh, it's 13.
Hey. You have been quite lucky because they are really good at that. All right. And what are we rolling here for damage?
You're taking 3d8.
Shit. What? You get to roll d8s. You get to roll d8s. Here, no. Why don't you toss those for me? And do it for each of these beasts.
Okay, so one of them takes 16 points of damage.
Nice.
The other one, oh my god, I'm rolling really well. Oh, 8, and 1, 17 points of damage.
Jeez. Whoosh.
Wow.
You throw teeth very hard. Gets them every time.
I love it. Absolutely. So they actually visibly slow as they strike these strange entities. Now, Evelyn Marthane, what's your deal?
Well, how is the door looking? Like
at this
how
point,
much danger is the building in?
At this point, you think that you could knock the rest of these cinders and boards out. You could clear them out pretty quickly.
So I'm just gonna kind of like kick and grab the boards that are flaming away from the building.
The building?
Yeah. Just so the whole thing doesn't go up in flames. And then I'm gonna run toward. I'm assuming everyone has filed out.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. As soon as they have an opportunity to run out, it's like now that there's an opportunity to get out there that doesn't have that sort of like game show element where they're trying to make their bodies fit through the hole. Now that they can pass directly through, the venue clears out very quickly.
Great. Have a nice day. Come back anytime. Thanks so much. Stay safe out there. And the grabbing the other boards and stuff, is that an interaction with an object? So free action? Or
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. This is you with your blade, just widening that hole, pushing it off of the ruined hinges, and offering that to them.
Okay. I'm going to run toward the action, and I don't want this adventuring crew to feel like they're not doing a great job by themselves. Because, I'm really cognizant of the fact that, like, I'm a very experienced adventurer and they're new. So I don't want to just jump in and, like, be like, I'll handle it. I want them to feel like they're doing a great job. So I'm going to cast Crusader's Mantle.
Ooh.
And so Evelyn just stands in the middle and she's like, "You're doing great!" And then an aura kind of shines from her.
Descends.
Almost like it's like a shimmering cape. It's like almost a transparent cape of light forms from her. And then for now, in a 30-foot radius, everyone does an extra 1d4 radiant damage when they hit with a weapon.
Woof.
Ooh. I wish I had a weapon.
And I
That's
realized as
dangerous.
I said that this is not a weapon group.
Got a weapon. We're fine.
But it's honestly, I gotta say that it's better. It's better if Evelyn comes in and is like, just does her Evelyn thing. Even in this context, I think it's good if that happens, and then there's not really an opportunity to capitalize on it. I still think that that's
It's perfect.
I still think that that's good.
We're
It's
all learning.
Exactly.
These are my adventuring babies.
It's special. Now, Shadow Council, Mayor Labors, please you. It is somehow mysteriously we have arrived at the first break. Who knew? Who knew such a thing could even happen? So for now, we're going to pause very briefly. We're going to take advantage of the facilities. Then we will return with more acquisitions incorporated. The C team, don't go nowhere. Hello, and welcome back to Test C teams. When last we saw our heroes, they were trying to manage the small matter of some mystical air elemental assassins who are doing their level best to pulverize First from the Quiver. And in fact, it is First from the Quiver who goes first after the break. So this is what you know, Quiver. You know that you are beset initially by two foes that can strike out of the wind itself. And they collaborated for a time on your midsection, raining down a sequence of brutal blows. But one of them has left to chase another target around, and sort of dimly, like the air is completely out of you, but sort of in the edge of your vision to the right, you can see what looks like some kind of First from the Quiver puppet or echo performing a strange, jagged dance here in this courtyard out in front of the Sunbeam Parlor, formerly known as the Friend Hole.
That's the hole I miss the most right now.
So you were right there, and your ample cloak, no part of you has come in contact with the dirt or mud. Your ample cloak has protected you fully. You're a delicious little cat burrito.
A burrito.
Am I bound?
Burrito?
Mm-hmm.
You're all right.
right.
You can stay.
I am not going to be able to scoot away from this fellow, correct?
But he is bearing down on you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not going to happen then. I, in that case, will. Do I have time to draw my short sword?
Yes.
And slash. And slash.
Slash.
Yes.
Can you get that bonus?
Let me give it a try then. I get that, and I get that radiant bonus.
Yeah.
Which
that extra
Quiver
flavor
believes is something else. Let me. May I take advantage?
You may, with ease.
Okay.
Look how easily.
Wow.
Look how easily I can grant it.
Okay, so this first roll was a 21.
Ooh.
And then this next roll was a 13. So let's take the first one.
Okay.
I slash with the sword at the wind itself.
Well, give me.
Please tell me you're actually narrating this. God,
Yes.
I love it.
No,
I think so.
But Yitzman, this has actually happened multiple times even just in the space of the time we've been playing, where it seems like First from the Quiver is narrating his own swashbuckling adventure.
It might be their way. It might be like it's like a history,
no,
like an
it's like
oral storytelling for one.
Yeah,
you know?
it's Errol Flynn as a cat. It's like,
Yes.
I bet that posterity. My suspicion is that
Posterity.
my suspicion is that they're not especially long-lived. Although they might be lucky, it could be a situation where they're always considering how these events will be laid down. So they're kind of working it out in real time.
Oh, I like that very much. All right.
But that kicks ass. But the best part would be if a group of them were fighting. And they're all sort of like creating competing narratives during the fight.
I fell the great beast. No, I fell the great beast. You fell down, and I was there, and
it was really embarrassing.
They come to an agreement. I have struck this thing
you have thoroughly
for 8 damage. And then add what was what was the radiant?
1d4.
Was it 1d4? Okay, so that's gonna be it's 8 plus 2, 10. So
okay.
That gleaming short sword, which again, Quiver is like wide-eyed at this. The bright sword and the duplicate that's capering around. This has a lot of great meaning.
Is this auspicious?
Potentially, yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Positive. Yeah.
Absolutely. First from the Quiver. So now the bad guy. So if someone attacks that strange after image prism, what's the result?
Oh, they die instantly. A horrible death.
Wow,
no,
it is a powerful spell.
Okay. It's revealed to be an illusion.
All right. Claws of lancing air slash through it, and it howls in fury. What is your armor class? First from the Quiver.
Oof, it's 14.
I just get you.
Oof. Oh no.
No, it could be worse. It could be worse. 11 for the first one.
Let's see if I can be worse now.
Yeah.
I haven't got much left.
No, I missed the second attack misses, but it's so clear, like it just misses you and you know it, and the attack basically comes out of nowhere. It's purely luck that you were not struck a second time.
The attack misses you and it does 6 damage.
Yeah, that's how bad. That's how bad it is. Prism.
Yeah.
It is your turn.
Okay. So, seeing that it attacked the mirror image and it saw that it
shreds through it. Exactly.
All right. So it dissipates and I am like breathe out really heavily. Like I was really concentrating to make that happen. And she sees them focusing on Quiver. And so she's going to cast, it's touch. Never mind. I'm not getting close to you.
No way.
Right. Not even close. Okay. So I would like, to cast Fairy Fire on the 2 elementals. Cause I got a 20-foot cube range on this. I know they're dexterous, but a 15. They need to be to 15.
Absolutely. Let's give it a try. So the one that is currently attacking Quiver succeeds, and the other one fails.
Perfect. Okay. So then there you go. You get that. And then as my bonus action, I am going to use Mantle of Inspiration, which is a cool bard thing I am learning about now. Let's all learn together. As a bonus action, spend a bardic inspiration to grant 8 temporary HP to up to 4 creatures you can see. So that'll be Yitzbin and Quiver. And each creature can also immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So if you wanted to do anything, you could at this time.
Oh, that's very feline.
That's great. Can I do it now?
Excellent news.
Yeah, it says right now.
Yeah, right now.
Oh.
Then I do it. I do it all. I do it 100%. No
And this
problem.
doesn't apply to me because you can't see me.
You're behind me, aren't you?
I'm not sure.
I
Yeah,
mean,
currently, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So if I am able to move, I certainly do not want to go back to the alley because I don't know if the people are still there. So I just tuck and roll back into the building. I go in through
not
the
what I
front door.
pictured.
Because I got to find a position to mount this assault from.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I can't pull my crossbow out here.
Oh yeah, exactly. You want to get into a position where, I mean, you had the whole plan and you haven't had a chance to use it yet.
I haven't even done it yet. Yeah.
Exactly. Now it's been a 10-day.
Yes.
A perception roll pulls.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh,
Total of 8.
Okay. Oh yes, Prism.
I didn't read the whole thing. It was anyone that I can see or can see me. So Evelyn would get to move if she wanted to.
Yeah. Sorry. Do you want to make your way out here, Evelyn?
Yes. I
Perfect.
gotta protect my babies.
Exactly. So you basically just walk right by first from the quiver. You basically just pass each other, like in the hall at school.
Switchies.
So there is
tag out.
there is a voice. There is a voice just to your immediate left, Yitzbin. A deep, rich voice issuing from a barrel chest.
Oh.
And he says, "May I join, ally?"
Whoa.
I turn and look to assess this potential ally's greatness in battle.
You suspect purely as a physical specimen, because that's the first thing that this silhouette you identify at a fundamental level as being deeply, profoundly associated with strength, specifically centaur strength.
Oh.
He appears to be watching the events with amusement, but would never dare take this glory from you. So he has made the proper obeisance and asked if he may join.
All right. I want to assess him to see if I recognize whether or not this is a member of a clan that I know, or if this is even a member of my own clan.
Absolutely. What would you? How would you like to do that? Because it's going to be a little esoteric, but not impossible.
Okay. I suspect
The desert is very large.
That would be, yes, it is. And it's instantaneous whether or not she recognizes the garb, the decor, the dress.
Absolutely.
And so I'm guessing that's like an insight.
Yeah. I think I like insight.
Okay. That's a 19.
Okay. Yeah, this is, you don't know their ways. But you know of the Salamandra. And he, much like you, is a long way from home. In fact, he still, even now, he still has his, the half mask that would be traditionally worn just to keep the silt out of your face. And his drinking bags are still in place.
Okay. So almost as a force of habit, the Salamandra, do I have a positive association with this clan, or are they enemies?
The Salamandra keep themselves to themselves. That's the thing that people know. They have no ill will, but they are their own.
Okay. So Yitzbin was posed to as with her fist kind of pointing toward the ground before this interaction happened, and in an instant she evaluates this newcomer and says, in Sylvan she'll say this: the dust from the desert still covers you, brother.
Ooh.
He says, he says, may it ever.
Ooh.
And the two things that she does whenever she sees a male from another clan, she puffs up to appear large. Like if you have you ever been hiking and seen those signs about what to do if you see a mountain lion?
Yeah, it's basically like the theater of presenting to this like creature.
Right.
Like, no, look how big.
Yes. So she gets her shoulders draw back, and she puffs up a lot of air into her chest, and she says, yeah, exactly. It doesn't look comfortable. And she says, behold the damage that I do. And then she punches directly into the ground, and she says, fist of dirt, very strong. And she casts Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. And what this does is I'm going to target whichever of the Dust Devils is closest to the Sunbeam Parlor. And from the ground, another fist of dirt comes flying up and will attempt to grasp that Dust Devil in its hand.
Nice.
And you need to make a strength saving throw.
So when you say grasp, you mean you were attempting to confer the grappled condition?
It's restrained, but yes.
Perfect.
A restrained grapple.
Absolutely.
Gentle.
A tasteful grapple,
Just
if
a
you
little
will,
grappling.
madam. You reach down through the earth and through the force of your own will, your own strength, try to create this earthen cage around this creature, and it slips its bonds with ease. You don't think that a creature like this can be held in this way.
Okay. So the fingers of dirt pass through this elemental and grip into a fist, and she says something very rude in Sylvan, and she pulls her hand back out of the earth.
Perfect. Can you give me a quick perception roll?
Womp 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 womp
Womp,
womp
womp, womp, womp. Oh,
It's an honor bwomp, but it is a
indeed.
bwomp.
Now, Shadow Council, may our labors please you. It's our first quarantine 20. It is our great pleasure. Now, all of our gifts and treasures, like the Shadow Council dice from Level Up Dice that we're going to grant here, we are going to have to amass all of these treasures and then send them out in a big shipment. Just because not all of us are even. The fact of the matter is that almost everyone is not in the office proper for the reasons you would expect. But you will receive your treasures. They're just not going to be immediate. We won't warp them to you. So that is actually very, very nice, Yitzbin. You can tell it's like I say, the half mask that goes over the lower part of the face. You see what you think is the top of an exile mark on his right cheek, peeking up from the side.
What does that mean to me?
It means that he may not be away from the Salamandra of his own will.
Okay.
He might have been sent away.
Okay. Cool. I make a note of that because I too am in exile. My clan, this little bit of exposition for me. Yitzposition. My clan also exiled me, but I was not marked because my parents were the leaders of the clan. and so
Nice.
they thought that would give me too
Fucking
much of a
kick-ass.
disadvantage in society. But
A Yitz advantage.
that's right. Exactly, Jerry.
But just, in these dark times, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the reason I mention it is because it's not something that she would look down on him for.
Exactly. But you can tell. I mean, he doesn't need that half mask here.
Right. Yeah.
He's hundreds of miles from where you would need such a thing. And he stamps forward, leans forward, and he says, "It will be but a moment." And just sort of down out of that periphery, a pike staff is lowered and thrust forward at terrifying speed.
Whoa.
Nice.
I would have fudged it if I'd needed to, but he hit twice.
Nice. Thanks for your honesty.
No problem. No problem. These are deft, like for such a massive weapon. These are deft strokes against a foe that's difficult to see. But he manages to dissipate portions of the creature that then attempt to hastily reform. Evelyn Marthane, it's time to go to work.
Yeah. Was he within 30 feet of me?
Absolutely, because you've traded places. You're right in the middle of this mix.
Then each of his hits do an extra 1d4 radiant damage.
I'll put those on.
Nummy num num.
Nice.
Num 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 num. All right.
And Evelyn is just going to she's trying to set a very good example for the other adventurers, and she does not feel like this is a big threat. So she's going to walk in very proudly, showing everyone her flaming greatsword, and then she's just going to take 2 giant hits at the same one that just took hits.
Perfect.
So the first one is a 19.
Ooh.
So does that hit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're doing okay.
That'll do 9 damage, 4 of which is fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next is a nat 20.
Jesus. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, now, this is... So, people get prizes at the 20 stage. And, of course, the second prize is a mini spellbook that you will get. Like this very one!
What? Oh my god!
Wow! I can't believe this.
There.
This is exquisite. Well, in any case,
put your dice in there. I dare you.
Obviously, from our good friends at Elderwood Academy that have supported the show year in and year out, many, many thanks to them, and of course to the Shadow Council that we all serve. Now, so let's see what those dice look like.
All right, so double the dice. That's going to be 5, and 5 is 10. Plus 6 is 16. Wow, these are good dice. Okay, 21 plus 5, 26.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez Louise.
21 of which is fire.
What?
So the first slice just casts these vicious winds aside, and when they return with great ferocity, they sort of balled themselves up in the center, and this sphere is sliced clean through by the flame blade. So there is another entity of this kind, not fresh because of the work of the catapult spell, but here in this courtyard there is one more whirling enemy. And it is visible to you first from the quiver.
Who is it now?
It is.
So yeah, my intent was if I've ducked into the doorway,
You're gonna get the tools.
Yeah. So the way we were trying to work on this is I know that technically a small creature get a disadvantage to use a crossbow like on the run. But this
Exactly.
is not something that he ever intends to use running around. Like it's
That's right.
like a sniper tool. You get into
Exactly.
position and you mount it. Am I able to? I mean, I could take the action to mount and set up in the doorway.
Exactly. So
And then
for our
does that consume my-
purposes, in the game, because I want there to be things that are flavorful like that, but also fun mechanically. You can utilize what would be your move action to instead mount this device on a surface for firing.
Okay. Then that is precisely what I will do. And if there is no adequate surface, I will use the floor. So let's see here. I'm gonna not take advantage, and we'll see how we do. That's the one that's closest, I suppose, with the centaurs.
There's only
Jousting.
one left.
Okay.
The target I'm describing here is actually off to the right of them. It's the one that Prism managed to cause to ferret away its movement.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Ooh la la.
What do you got?
26.
Good God!
What?
Well, that's
Whoa.
very high.
It was very good.
Well, tell me more about this.
Now I am in my element. again with the self-
Narration.
Narrating. Yes.
I love it.
He finds the perfect position. Takes aim.
And fires.
His paw pulls the trigger. Just like this.
So gently.
The finely tuned equipment, instrument of death. Let's see. Woo! So that's going to be 9 plus 3, 12 plus 1d4, correct?
That's correct.
That's 14.
Woo!
14.
God. Ow.
I kiss the arrow, the head of the arrow as I mount it. Release.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it goes. It goes through, and you know, as a patient hunter, that the sorts of things, this foe is not optimal, right? What you want from a foe, if you could collaborate with a foe on the ultimate attack, you'd be looking for organs at a minimum, right?
Yeah.
You
Not
want
satisfying.
something. You want something for this arrow to seek out.
Right.
Even so, you have found the heart of the wind, my friend.
Whoa.
And it
Quiver goes, despite himself, goes,
what makes the cat bug sound? The frustration.
yeah.
You know
good.
what? You're all right. You're all right. So this thing. So you have basically set that up like in the front of the doorway.
Yeah, I would be just
Okay.
inside the doorway.
So it wails in the courtyard and sets itself upon you. The first attack misses. The second attack hits well.
Oof. Oof.
Ugh.
We
Dealing
might not
10
be-
points of damage.
That zeroes me up perfectly.
No.
No.
Oh,
And then
no.
and then to use another cat mechanism like that attack's coming in, and then Quiver can't help but do that little. Can't decide whether or not to strike or bolt, and is struck. And
Exactly.
so I'm at 0 now.
So at that final strike, there is a keening, sharp wail, and that tiny whirling wind flattens out and disappears.
Wait, how?
That's true.
What?
Are we out of initiative?
You were out of initiative because its
Great
target was
job,
reduced to 0 hit
everyone.
points.
You did so good.
Oh.
So you're applauding, and the cat is drawn in, doubled up, near death at the literal threshold. The threshold of this house is doing double duty right now, because it's also referencing the threshold of life and death. Like, there's a lot stacked on this this doorway for sure.
Well, Evelyn's like clapping and she's like, so good, such a great job. Walks over there. You two, you did such a great job. She pats him lovingly on the head and does lay on hands for 20 hit points.
Oh, delightful.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, how do I?
delicious.
Oh, okay, here I see. I heal 20.
Yeah.
I'm using the D&D Beyond interface for when you're at 0 hit points.
Oh, from home?
And it's easier than I thought.
That's great.
Would you say
So-
it's never been easier?
It's never been easier.
Never been easier. So your new erstwhile ally, Yitzbin, doesn't
Yes.
know what to think about a foe that disappears, other than to say he should be at the very apex of alertness.
I respond exactly the same way. We are now searching for where the enemy went. We're on high alert. We're patrolling the alleys, and we're speaking back and forth. Like I do not see him around this corner. I could not possibly know when it will reappear, but I know that it will. And we are not out of initiative order.
No. You two are engaged in a buddy cop movie simultaneous to the rest of the campaign, and it can last as many episodes as it needs to. And that's
We're gonna find these damn dust devils again.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
that's
But
Yeah.
eventually Yitzbin does get tired of walking around in a circle, and would like some praise from Evelyn. And so she trots back, making sure that again this strange new centaur, she's puffed up, she's appearing large, she's making a lot of noise. She's doing all the things to scare away a mountain creature like you would. And she hears Evelyn giving praise, and she comes and she puts one arm across Prism's shoulders and the other hand on Quiver's little head, and she says, "We are a team. We will never be apart again.
Oh,
This is life now."
Oh no.
the start of a new family. So happy. Oh, who's this? Who'd you bring with you, Yitzbin?
I had not thought to ask for a name. Not sure if it is deserved.
Oh.
and he nods in agreement with Yitzbin.
Oh.
Like, that's probably right.
But she remembers the exile mark. She thinks about that nasty pike work that he did, and she relaxes a little bit. She lets some of the air out of her lungs, her top lungs, and
God
It's like
damn.
if you're confronted by like a powerful horse, do you inflate the horse lung part, the bottom
Yeah,
lung?
only then. The deep lung.
and she says, "Brother, no need to wear mask here. It only makes you look sensual."
He tilts his head, neither nodding nor shaking, and lowers the mask, and the symbol goes from the upper the upper height of the cheekbone all the way down to the jaw. This is, even by exile standards, this would make life very difficult in any any land they were sent to.
I'm assuming that the size of the exile mark is corresponding with the manner of the crime. Does that
yes,
track?
or potentially simply the. I mean, it's relatively. It wouldn't be visited upon your family, even in circumstances such as yours,
Right.
But it's not unheard of for the mark to gain size simply by virtue of the anger with which it's applied.
Oh, okay. So she swallows, and she tries to. She knows that she's probably the first or at least one of the first centaurs that has come to this city that these folks have probably interacted with, and so she wants to make a really good example. She wants to be like number one centaur, and so she puts aside the traditions of the desert, which would be appear large, attack on sight, and she says, you have great arm strength, upper body very powerful. You may say your name now.
He says, it's very quiet. It's actually too quiet to hear.
Oh, you can speak louder, sweetie. That's okay. Don't be shy.
And when it, after a moment and a steadying breath, he tells you that his name is Dolorous Bondi.
Dolorous Bondi.
And that it is his. He is very strong, and that is his shame.
Oh wow! Wow.
He is twice shamed for his strength.
What do you mean by that?
He says that among the Salamandra, only magical ability is prized.
Oh God. Okay. And Yitzpin's eyes light up. They get huge. They're the size of saucers. She thinks she's hiding this reaction, but she's not at all.
No. I can see it exactly. And it's just like she thinks it's good. Right?
She has never heard of a centaur clan that believed this way. Strength is the only thing that centaurs prize. And so this is unheard of. This is basically non-centaur. And she's too nervous to say anything at first. And then she says,
and he says, after this revelation, he says, I will understand if you do not reveal your name.
Magical ability is shameful. You come from a tribe that makes no sense. But also, I am Yitzpin Attende. And it is a great strength to add you to my traveling companions. I don't know if we're traveling or not. Usually I'm traveling.
Just don't leave.
He says, I came here because I heard tell of music.
You like music?
He doesn't understand the question.
Well, we have just the finest singer in the entire realm.
Yitzpin Attende.
Yitzpin hasn't graced us with a performance yet, but Prism here has been rocking her cover business tour.
He aside to you, Yitzpin, he says, they have not earned your voice. And he nods he nods understandingly.
I am offended. I do not understand in that order.
He says, "Well, I mean, you would not sing for them yet, I assume."
I would be delighted. And she breaks into a completely unlistenable version of some nursery song, some lullaby, and in Sylvan. And it's awful.
His face stretches in a comical, clownish way, vertically, with tension and fear. The teeth are not revealed somehow. Somehow.
The hooves are stamping. It's becoming clear why Prism is the talent.
Prism is trying to coach, and she's like trying to do this, like sing.
Oh, the diaphragm?
From the
You need support. You need to support.
No.
It's bad. It's bad. There's no.
Bad.
It's good. Maybe good by like her clan standards, but it's a different kind of musical language from what is generally tolerated in the city.
For what is okay.
It's not pop. Let's just.
It's not pop.
Here, so he nods with understanding that he can't physically be here very much longer, and he says, "Perhaps I will return here to your hole for a concert."
Yes, our next
My
one
whole-
will be tomorrow night. You should come.
My hole will fill with music tomorrow. You must return.
Oh no!
He says,
Please.
he says, "I would be honored. I would be honored to dwell within your hole."
No. No.
My hole is ripe with anticipation.
No.
He says tomorrow. Wheels and begins moving east toward the anvil.
Yitzbin turns around and these looks of disgust on everyone's face. She does not understand.
Oh,
Evelyn
I
is
think
trying
we'll be
really
back.
hard to smile as though she's proud.
Of something. Inside the Sunbeam parlor, there is an intense shaking and rattling from the upper deck. The upper area where both rooms are arranged, but also the machinery that has been used for innumerable revolutions over its lifetime.
Evelyn's like, I told you the show's over. It's time to leave. No lollygagging. And she runs in to try to see who is hiding in their building.
Absolutely. You go up and it's one of the printing presses, the one nearest to the stairs, is actively doing its best to shake itself apart. It looks like there's something inside of it trying to get out.
Look, I know that we haven't been living together very long, but there are certain things roommates shouldn't do, like leave the printing presses on. It's going to run up our bills, and it's very unsafe.
Are you trying to find out how to deactivate it?
Mm-hmm.
So, as you're sort of like reaching around trying to find a switch, a lever, a symbol, something like that, and the lowercase tray projects out and just strikes you in the stomach. And
I
then
catch it and I look at it.
You're doubled over and you look down, and it says inside it is arranged perfectly. There's like a series of what looks to be like random numbers, letters, and symbols at the top, and then there's a blank space, and then it's followed up at the bottom by more apparently random symbols. But the center section says Secure the weapon located at the courtyard near Wyvern and Plinth.
Oh.
I guess at this point, Evelyn probably remembers that this is mystically how Acquisitions Incorporated is communicating to them.
Yeah, a letter would be.
Passe.
Yeah, it's simply you don't see that in the finer houses.
For the plebeians. So Evelyn brings this to show the rest of the party. She says, "Come inside. Look, we've got a letter." It looks like not only do we need to provide entertainment, but we need to provide even more security because it looks like we're going after a weapon.
Why would we need a weapon for a show? Didn't we? We're fine. Do we need more weapons?
Perhaps weapon can also sing.
Then we really don't need it. We're fine.
This show is just something we are doing for fun. The weapon is the reason why I've convened.
No. Listen, it's not just for fun. It's also
a weapon. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, sorry, that this performance, I know it's just a cover business and it's not real, but also it is real. And I am now going to take it very seriously. And I pledge to do the best job I possibly can. And being stressed out and fighting in the streets is not going to help me sing better. So let's just do what we got to do here.
That is so true. In the future, Quiver, do you think that you could keep your assassin wind elementals away from performances? That's a fair request.
Just common areas.
I can only do my best.
That's all we're asking.
I like that. I like that as a period at the end of the show. Revered Shadow Council, may our labors please you. We're going to take a brief break. Then we're going to come back for a little table talk, and then we will set you free. Go to maybe another area inside your own house. Until then, keep it mixed up. Keep it moving. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.